let's spend some time understanding. What is vision? Can I get some answer? What is vision? Can anybody tell me?
Dreams for the future.
Dreams. Very apt. Vision is dream. Somebody visualize something. Somebody dream. Like Dhirubhai Ambani has dreamed when he was working on the petrol pump that he has not only thought I will own this petrol pump, he said but I will create the petroleum company. So vision is the dream. Very apt word. Now, can you tell some of the visions which you know? Yes, Mujumdar ji? Any example of vision? Yes, Mr. Mujumdar? See? Yes. Sorry.
I think yesterday we were talking about Sanofi's vision of audacity.
Yes. Exactly.
That's very valuable, I think.
Yes. Very valid. Anything else? APJ Abdul Kalam, our beloved president of this country, the great scientist, have a vision of being the developed country by 2020. He has put up the vision. He is a great scientist. He has done many discoveries. He is a great academician. And then he has become the president and he said this country, which is full of resources, full of talent, excellent cultural heritage, why can't we compete with America and surpass them or be a developed country, developed nation? Then he put up the vision to make India as a developed country by 2020. Vision, another vision, John F. Kennedy. Vision of going to the moon. Vision doesn't mean necessarily always it looks possible to everybody, but it looks possible to the person who visualizes it. Another excellent example is that the Disneyland, Charles Disney. He has visualized Disneyland in his dream and then it came into the existence. Anything to have happened by design has to have, or it orients from the dream. So that's a vision. Now, these are some excellent examples of the vision, and vision fuels the action. Vision gives that driving force. Vision gives that energy. Vision then laid down into various strategies and plans, and then it gets the actual execution, and the visualization happens into the reality. So that's vision. Today, we are here, as I told you in the morning, that you are here to see the vision of the Lupin. What is the vision of the Lupin? What we want to be? What company dreams for? So that's a vision. Another thing is that, now when we say the vision, it has to be larger than life. It has to be, looks impossible for many people who think ordinarily. It's an extraordinary visualization of the dream. Now, next comes is that what are the ingredients to make this vision as a reality? Can we come and understand? I would like each one of to participate. As I told in the morning, it's not a lecture, it's a workshop. I appreciate and I want that everybody should contribute. Now tell me, what are the ingredients required to be a successful person or a successful organization? Let's start from successful person. Yes? What are the virtues required to be a successful person?
Great values.
You need value system. Yes?
Willpower.
Willpower. Very good.
Ambition.
Willpower. Yes?
Ambition.
Ambition.
Integrity.
Pardon?
Integrity.
Integrity. Excellent.
Part of that.
It comes part of value. So, next.
Skills.
Skills. Pardon?
Okay, after that, go ahead. What is the next step?
Yeah.
Move on.
No, we really require. We are looking very serious issue here. We are contemplating that how one can be a successful. So we need a strong determination apart from this. As it has been described that will, it is described one has to be very, very ambitious. Otherwise, this complacency can kill the person. So these are the virtues which are required. Now let's test this 1, 2, 3, 4 things on the successful people. 1 or 2 quick examples. Say like Mahatma Gandhi. He was very ambitious. He was saying that India should get the freedom. India must get the freedom. Lal Bahadur Shastri, you say Lokmanya Tilak. There are many examples of successful people. And the successful organization also needs to be a very, very ambitious organization, needs to have a willingness to go ahead. The willpower of the organizing people has to be very, very strong. Then it has to develop a skill level of the people so that they can achieve, they can realize their dream. So, one hand we have seen the vision, other hand, when we actually translate that vision into the reality, you need a people who go and who stands for certain things. And that's what we exactly call as the value system. We talk the truthfulness, we talk the integrity. These are the value systems which are required. So when this vision and value comes together, they make a powerful force and they actualize, they realize, they execute the dream into the reality. So there are two types of people, there are two types of organization. There are organization, because if you say everybody, if I'm walking on the road, I ask somebody what you want to become, he says I want to become Amitabh Bachchan. But can he become? It's a dream. Dream without action is a hollow thing. Dream without action cannot realize the dream into the reality. Now, there are two set of people, as I said, that those who have only dreams, they leave their dream, die, and go on the four shoulders without doing anything in their life. Similarly, there are organizations who talks very high, they put up some jazzy picture, but then it is not backed by the tremendous value system and the skill and other ingredients which are required to realize their dream. Now let's zero down, let's focus it out. What are those two very important things which can make any organization a great organization? Number one ingredient is a vision, number two is a value. Now vision and value or vision or value. There are organizations who want to do, oh, I want to do this by hook or crook. It means that by this way or that way I want to achieve. One can achieve certain thing in the short span, in the short run. But when you see the history of the organization who wants to become great, those organizations who has adopted vision or value or substituting with the value, they have failed miserably. And the greatest example on the Indian surface is the Enron power project. Enron thought that we came to India and we can do anything here, we can bribe any number of officials and we can get away and we can build up the biggest power plant in the India. Finally, miserably they have failed and they had to wind it up. There are many organizations, ASCOT, but then there are organizations who says that I have to travel this path, I want to realize my dream, we want to become a great organization, but we will do it while developing our inner strength, creating the value system and seeing to it that each one of us fall into the system wherein the organization stands for. So those organizations goes ahead. Today, as I told in the morning, we are here to understand what is our vision, what are values we stand for as a Lupinite, and what are the goals. Because when you have to achieve the dream, you cannot run the 1,000 mile in one go or 1,000 meter in one go. You have to take a first step. You have to set up the goal, which are the close-ended, which are the time-bounded, and which are the measurable one. So we will see vision, values, and then we will see the goals, what goals we have ahead, and what is the role we have to play in that. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
We just saw the clipping where our honorable chairman and MP, they have been talking of what this company was, is, and is planning to be in the next 3 years. There have been occasions where you have a choice whether to go in one direction or the other direction. But those are the times when you have to actually think and decide which path to follow. There is always a good and a bad. DBG was talking of an employee who is sick, had tuberculosis. There was always a path. You are not fit to work. So maybe you need to give this position to somebody who can work. But at the same time, he chose not only to ensure that the employee gets his full treatment. At the same time, he also said, "Okay, whatever other social responsibilities you have, since you are a part of this family, I'll take care of that also," which was the marriage of a sister. That is something which is values. In any individual, if you see, who has risen in life, or any organization that goes up, it has to be always a combination of both. A combination of good values and a far vision. There can be organizations which are at the same base level at any given time. But after some time, if you see, after a few years, if you see, one organization prospers, the other does not. Or two people start similar type of business together. One prospers, the other does not. These type of examples are enough around us only. Take our own company. DBG started this business, and maybe at some stage when concept and others were separated, at that time also, perhaps the companies were at the same level, but where do we stand today, and where does the other company? Vision is something which is like a dream, but that dream has to actually change into reality. And to change that dream into a reality is where all your skills, your manpower does play a major role. But apart from that, another major tool is your value systems. You take organizations like McDonald's. One fine day a person thinks of making a burger, and he even thinks of selling a burger throughout the world. In those days nobody could think of it also. But actually it happened. Actually it happens today. Why it is happening? Because they have certain values attached to them. That wherever in the world you go, you get the same taste. Wherever in the world you go, you get the same cleanliness, the same quality. Because of that, they have become big. Take a person like Dhirubhai Ambani. 10 years back, when the mobile phones were coming in, he thinks of, okay, I'll also get into this business. There were 8-10 other companies which had already come. So let me also get into this. But what did he think of? Can I put this mobile in every man's hand? Can it become something which everybody uses? And that was a time when even a landline phone people didn't have. Or if you have one at the home, is more than sufficient. And see the situation today. What did he say on that day? Kar lo duniya muthi mein, or selling this mobile or a call should be as low as that of a postcard. Thinking at that time, when 25 rupees for an incoming and 25 rupees for an outgoing, to thinking of putting a mobile in everybody's hand and making it as cheap as a postcard. That was something which you could dream of. But how you are going to do it? In those days, the mobile set was 30,000 rupees. Can everybody afford a 30,000 mobile set? But when you start thinking, then you actually start realizing how to put it in the market also. And ultimately he did it. Today you see, you have lifetime prepaids and everything is there. No rentals, call coming down to just few paisas, 40 paisa, 50 paisa, and that is the way it is. So values are something which actually takes you there. vision is something which you have in you, you think of it, you work for it. Almost every company will have a vision. That vision may be stretched to any level. I may think of reaching a 10 crore mark. You may think of reaching a 100 crore mark. Another person may think of reaching a 1,000 crore mark. So, your vision can go to any level. But who actually reaches there and who doesn't reach there? That is what is important. We have good examples like a big house, a pharma house, like the Sarabhai group. It was a big group, big house, but ultimately they lost out. Where does Sarabhai stand today? Because the value system which they were supposed to follow, they did not. Think of other pharma companies. Think of PCI. Some of you may not have heard the word also. That was a big company. It was perhaps as big as Lupin. But where does it stand today? It's no more. Think even outside this. Think of companies coming and going every day. But why only few reach the top? Why only few have those qualities in them? It is only because of the value system which is built with you. It is not just thinking big, putting a product, and that's all. We have an example of Wipro, a company 10 years, 15 years back, when they were not into big business, they were just new into this segment. They happened to get an order from ONGC. ONGC, you all know, is a very, very big organization. And getting an order from ONGC means perhaps a lifetime opportunity. This is something which can make you big in one day. But when actually that order was to be procured, there were certain people who actually needed some bribes. Now, people in Wipro, they knew this is something which we have not done. Should we do or should we not? So, the executive who was asked for it, he told his boss, and ultimately it reached the chairman, Premji. What needs to be done here? He said very simply, cancel this order and we will not deal with this company. Because if once we start doing this, then the total system is going to be like this. Everybody is going to work in that direction only, which will ultimately lead to the company reaching nowhere. Because if you have to reach somewhere, you have to build on your values. Today in your own house you see values. That is why you stand there. And those who don't have those values in their houses, you know where they are. So it is a combination of both the vision and the value which takes you through. And that is where we need to look at. What is these values and what are these? Is the vision. And we need to combine both of them together. And that is what we will be talking of in the later part also.
You've just heard our chairman and our managing director speak on the visions and the values that we as a corporate are going to adopt, and the vision that as a company which we have for the years to come. Now, let's forget this for a minute and just let's look at successful people, let's look at successful companies, and let's try to understand what is it that separates a successful company from a not so successful one. If you look at companies, there are companies which starts from the same market capitalization, the same kind of manpower, with the similar kind of products, but 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, you see that one endures, not only endures, flourishes, but the other does not. You know, in every field you will find companies like this, and we associate many reasons for this. If you look at even in the pharmaceutical industry, there are companies which have not only survived but flourished. So for a minute, just imagine and think about these successful people. You know, what makes a Unilever a Unilever? A company from, say, the Netherlands, what makes it what it is today? What makes a Glaxo what it is today? What makes Lupin what it is today? What makes a Lance Armstrong do what he does? You know, with cancer, he goes on to win 7 Tour de France's. What is it that makes these people extraordinary? How does it separate these people, these companies, from the others? What is their attribute? What is that quality? Just give it a thought, and maybe you could just write it down. What is it that attribute you think is the differentiator over here? Can we have your suggestions?
Maybe their value systems.
Their value systems. I think we'll go through the same process. See, value system, yes, you know, but what else?
Passion.
Passion. What else? You can have quickly 10, and then we can talk about it.
Determination to succeed. Determination.
Okay, determination. Okay. What else? Goal. What else?
People.
People. Hello?
Courage.
Courage. Hello? Hello, Sriram Krishna? See, I'm sure when you're telling this name, these adjectives, whatever adjectives each one of you is using, you're thinking of a particular company or a particular person where you think that he is successful or he's outstanding because this is that attribute which contributes to his success, right? So, any more?
Conviction.
I think determination, conviction, very similar. Vision, yes.
One more you can desire.
That's passion.
Passion. Passion is commitment into action. Desire is a
See, what we're trying to get at is that feeling is there, you know, what you're trying to get at. Let's not get into semantics. Besides this, if you look at this list, you know, now I'm sure each one of you has an imagery of that particular company or that particular person. Now, for a moment, if you think, which of these attributes another company or another person can copy? Which do you think will be the differential? You believe that these attributes are what makes one company different from the other, right? We agree on that. That's why you put on these points. Now what I'm asking you is, if two companies which have the same, suppose two companies have the same vision, right? Which is the other quality which you will give a higher ranking to?
Vision, people, value system, all this can be copied. But passion cannot
People
be.
cannot be copied.
Yeah, people, they can have the same number of people. No. But the courage, passion, this cannot be copied.
Quality of people cannot be copied.
Quality of people.
Number can be copied.
Number can be copied, yeah.
What else?
Goal that can be copied.
Do we really believe that, see, a company has not succeeded? It is due to the fact that it does not have the desired passion.
Certainly.
Maybe.
Do you really think that? What you're saying in effect is,
not
a
necessarily.
guy who has won the 100-meter race, the second was less in passion and the first was higher in passion.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. So how would you go about rating this? If one were to rate, okay, the hallmark of the most successful company, in your opinion, what would be the differential, key differential, one key differential?
Only integrity.
That's not listed over here. That comes in the value system, right?
Yeah, speaking.
Yeah. That cannot be copied. That makes it
Courage. First factor
It is the first factor for success.
for success.
Thank you.
Like, could you give me the imagery?
Yeah, because if I have a value system, I have the courage to stick to it, not compromising it.
Fair enough.
I should not deviate from my principles. I must take a stand. I may initially lose some business, but I have the courage to stand.
That's a nice point. See, what I was trying to get at is, see, I have the desire to go somewhere, right? I have the courage to go somewhere. I have the people to go somewhere. I have the values to go somewhere, but I don't know where to go. Where will I reach? See, I have all these qualities. I have determination. I have tremendous passion. I have people. I have value system. I have courage. I don't know where to go with this. Where will I reach?
But that's a vision about.
That you have written there.
Vision we have written. That's
Right.
a vision. Where to
So,
go.
so if you look at it in another way, if this is missing, you have all the other ingredients, you still won't go where you want to go. Do you all agree with me? See, look at any company, it has all the attributes, it has all the passion, it has determined people, tremendously motivated people, but the company doesn't know where to go. So, tell me, Seti?
If the company is not having vision, if they are not ready to reach where the other companies are wanting to reach, nobody can make that company successful.
Precisely.
Yes.
So see, what we have been talking from the morning is that we have a vision today. We have a vision of becoming a transnational company. And you'll appreciate that this vision, when it compiles or combines with our courage, our people, our passion, our other strengths, is going to what is going to make us very, very lethal in this industry. See, if you look at, we have been talking about examples. If you look at Dhirubhai Ambani, he started off with his telecom project. What he visualized was a lateral, absolutely. A normal cell phone company launches thinking that I'll take up this much market share, I'll take in so much in revenue. But he said that I will see to it that whatever a postcard costs, which was the mode of communication, that is the amount of money that you'll spend for talking to a relative somewhere far away in India. And see, he started off with a disadvantage. He started off with a CDMA network, which was at that point of time not operational in India. But he had the vision, he knew where he had to go. So I think for all of us, whatever roles we have, it is important and perhaps imperative to understand that we as a team, we as a company, to have a vision today. A vision which in terms of revenue translates into $1 billion, and which in terms of pure statement or pure imagery today, we want to be known as I forgot the statement. Innovation-led translational company. Pharmaceutical company. Which basically encompasses the fact that we are focused, we are a pharmaceutical company, we are focused. We want to continuously innovate, we want to continuously keep on improving, and this itself is our vision. A vision which keeps on moving, So, before we get into and really start talking about our visions and the values, I think one thing all of us realize today is that whatever attributes we have as a team, as an individual, what is the most important thing is to have a vision. A vision which will drive us, a vision which will take us forward every day. Thank you.
Innovation means that every part, at every juncture, we have to innovate. You are sitting there, you have to think that how can I innovate my work? And my daily call planning, how can I innovate? The area manager can think, a regional manager can think, a sales manager can think, how can I innovate my work? So everybody has to think, everybody has to innovate, not only R&D. Then it has to be innovation-led transnational. Led transnational means at present we are a domestic company. We are going to work in other countries also. It is not only domestic company, that's why we call it a transnational company. Till this time we are restricting ourselves to the domestic market only, but we are going to expand it to the different countries. And pharmaceutical company, we are going to remain in pharmaceutical company till the time we achieve the goal of $1 billion. Pharmaceutical company means we are going to remain there in the drugs selling. We are not going to go into hospital business or retail chain business at present up to till the time we reach 1 billion as a goal.